The US Open is one of the most overpriced sporting events of the year. But just how expensive is it? Well, I traveled all the way to New York City to find out why, even though America's top tennis tournament continues to set attendance records, there are thousands of one-star reviews calling for people's jobs because of everything from terrible parking to the food prices. But in order to see just how expensive it actually is, I set out with the goal of buying these 5 things for as cheaply as humanly possible so I could find out if attending the US Open on a budget is actually worth it, or if it's only enjoyable if you're rich. And first up was getting to the grounds. Now, like everywhere in New York, you're technically able to drive to the US Open, where you'll pay at least $40 for parking. But it's honestly way easier and cheaper just to take the subway for $2.90, which drops you off much closer to the entrance. However, now that I was actually here, that meant next up was getting my ticket. Now, if you want access to the main stadium, you could end up paying a couple of $100s just for one day. So instead, I opted for a grounds pass, which got me access to everywhere else. And if you go during the week, you can pick up one of these on TickPick for less than $150. However, before I could decide if I actually got a good deal on my ticket, I still had to find the cheapest drink, food, and merchandise to complete this challenge. And even though I really wanted to try one of the iconic honeydew drinks, they cost $23. So instead, I went with their only beer option for $16 and followed it up with a hot dog for $11. I then made my way over to one of the merch stores where I picked up this t-shirt for $48. Now, before I reveal my total price for the day, I think that even as a tennis casual, the US Open is well worth the price of admission, because even with a grounds pass, I was able to check out almost every court and stadium, while getting closer than I ever thought possible to some of the best tennis players in the world. And honestly, these smaller courts are where the best upsets happen anyways. So at a final cost of $226.90, I'd say the US Open is still worth it, even if you're not rich.